Hello friends, I'm back and today we will be discussing SMTP gateway integration in our HySecure VPN server. So today we'll be covering this topic, and under this topic we will be covering multiple options which are required as a prerequisite, what all things we need to take care. Those are things we need to just find it out, and then we will be doing this SMTP server configuration. Okay, so first we need to locate where is SMTP server configuration option. So this is available on your SO user login page, that means on your HySecure management console. Then you have to go on settings, go on messaging section, and inside messaging section there is your SMTP server which is added over here. Okay, so I have one server which is added over here. And before we perform all those things, we need to first get the details of SMTP server which are added over here. Like here it is your SMTP mail server. It might be your URL or it might be IP, then the port on which you are going to communicate with your SMTP server. And most important thing is that you have to ensure that you are embedding this checkbox if your SMTP server is going to communicate over SSL TLS. And then you have to mention your username and password if you are going to authenticate yourself to communicate with your SMTP server. Then you have to enter your username and password, confirm password. Then you have to use email sender ID by which you will be sending your emails to your end user. So these are the very few requirements that you have to first get things from your SMTP. Before we are putting all those things, we have to ensure the URL that you are right now putting it over here, this should be reachable. And how you can verify this, there is option diagnose. You can go on telnet section and then you can put this URL over here and put the port where you are looking to communicate and do a telnet option and see if it is reachable or not. Like here it is reachable, that means yes, we have got connectivity and we are expecting that server will be now able to communicate with your SMTP server. Again, here the things are that connectivity is key part, then your port is key part, and then whether it is going to use a SLAM TLS or it is going to be used as a plain communication. Some SMTP server might be available where you might not need to put anything here, so you can just disable this check and don't put any information over here, because someone might be using SMTP server on port 25 and they might not be using the credentials here for their SMTP username and password. So yes, this is dependent on your use case, but yeah, these are the very basic parameters which are required here. Now there is one more parameter which is I have not mentioned, which I have not mentioned over here. This is your SMTP client host name. So this value will be by default filled when you will open this space, and I would recommend that do not change this value. Don't make any modification over here to avoid any trouble. Why? We will discuss in some different videos that what might be the consequences if you are changing this particular SMTP client host name, and how you can fix it if there is something wrong. But for this configuration section, I would say don't modify this particular value, keep it as it is, which is available. Now once you are done with the configuration, we have to also look on the template that you will be sending to your users. If they are requesting an email, they are requesting a token over email, what should be the template which will be used to deliver the content. So for that there is an option of the email format in the bottom, and there are options for multiple type of use cases, but we will talk about here a one-time password. So you can click on that one-time password template and see this is what template by default will be used. So here this template has certain things in tabs, and you need to understand those things are related here with the keywords. So keywords like here subject keyword is right now mentioned as uh, secure remote access login information. So this is the default value which will be filled while sending an email token. If you want, definitely you can modify it. Again, there is another keyword dear name, and name is here mentioned, and this is the mail of name of the user who is going to request email. And then there is an email token, so this will be replaced by one-time password value. So runtime, when you will be requesting one-time password or email, so actually generated 6 digit or 4 digit one-time password will be replaced on this field. And again, that any OTP would have an expiry time, of course. So this expiry time will be replaced over here like mentioned here. So this you can define on your policy. So we will discuss like where this information is available in our MFA policy configuration section, uh, like what would be the OTP expiry. So when a token will be delivered, it will be delivered to whom it is being, then to whom you are sending, and then what is the email token that should be shared, what is the actual token value, and then when this token should be expired. And there might be question like, all right, we are sending email, then from where we will get the email ID of your end user? Because this is obvious question, we are not providing email ID, and user will be requesting an email, then that email should be triggered to the end user mail ID only. And for that purpose, you need to look on this authentication section where you have already configured by knowingly or unknowingly. You have mentioned that from where we are going to pick the mail ID. So when you are doing an AD integration, you are mentioning that user email attribute is mail. So something like here in Active Directory, your for every user there are multiple attributes which are storing data, like this may be user name, this may be group, this may be mail ID, this may be mobile number. So here during AD integration, this email attribute will be used, and we are considering that your AD is storing user mail ID under mail attribute. So we will be pulling mail attribute from your AD, and all that mail ID we will be throwing the email. Again, once you are done with all those steps, you have to go here on SMTP section, and then you have option to send a test email. uh, so you can put your email ID over here and just click over send test email and see if you are able to receive it. And that's all for the SMTP configuration, and it should work.